In the heart of the 20th century, the Judean desert whispered a 1,000-year-old secret. A secret not of gold or gems, but of words, of knowledge, of a spiritual legacy that rewrote the history of the Bible. It's 1947, and a young Bedouin shepherd, Muhammad Edhib, searches for a lost goat. His curiosity leads him to a cave nestled among the steep limestone cliffs. A stone thrown into the darkness produces an unexpected sound, the crack of shattering terracotta. That seemingly insignificant break would open a window onto a lost world, revealing the existence of a forgotten community whose treasures were scrolls of leather and papyrus, the oldest witnesses to the sacred word. To understand who the Essenes were, we must travel back in time to a time of profound turmoil. We are between the 2nd century BCE and the 1st century CE. The Holy Land is a crossroads of empires, a battleground for religious and political ideologies. Jerusalem, the holy city, is torn by internal strife. The temple, the beating heart of the Jewish faith, is perceived by many as corrupt, run by priests who care more about power than purity. In this climate of disillusionment, the need for a different path emerges, a return to the origins, to a life of authentic devotion. It is from here that the desire for separation will be born, the impulse that will lead a group of men to seek refuge in the desert, far from the temptations and hypocrisies of the world. It was here, on the western shores of the Dead Sea, that the Essenes established their home, Qumran, an inhospitable, arid place, yet perfect for their quest for purity. Life here was harsh, punctuated by rigid rules and rituals. They were a communist community ante litteram. Each member renounced their material possessions, sharing everything. Every day was an exercise in self-control and devotion. Ritual baths, the mikvaot, were central, daily immersions to purify body and soul, a symbol of their commitment to holiness. They lived in caves or simple mud huts, but their focus was inward, a constant preparation for an impending spiritual battle between the forces of good and evil. But the heart of Essene life at Qumran beat in one specific place, the scriptorium. Here, day after day, with incredible devotion and discipline, the Essenes devoted themselves to transcribing the sacred texts. They were not mere copyists, they were guardians of the word. Every letter, every word was an act of reverence. The preparation was meticulous, from the treatment of animal skins to transform them into parchment, to the production of black and red inks, to the preparation of inkwells and reed quills. Each time they had to write the name of God, Yahweh, they ritually purified themselves. It was slow, arduous work, but essential to preserving the Torah and the other prophetic writings, ensuring their purity was not contaminated. The peace of Qumran, however, was destined to end. The outside world, the one the Essenes had tried to leave behind, was about to catch up with them. The Roman Empire, with its unstoppable military machine, was crushing all resistance in Judea. In 66 AD, the Great Jewish Revolt broke out. Vespasian and Titus's legions advanced, razing cities and fortresses to the ground. The Essenes, though pacifists, could not escape the fury of war. They understood that their days at Qumran were numbered. Their greatest treasure, those meticulously copied scrolls, was in mortal danger. They had to act quickly before the Roman flames reached their desert sanctuary as well. Faced with the Roman advance, the Essenes made a dramatic decision: to hide their precious scrolls. They couldn't fight, but they could preserve them. Each scroll was carefully wrapped in linen cloths and sealed in earthenware jars, similar to those the Bedouins would find almost 2,000 years later. The operation was carried out with frantic secrecy. Men and women of the community carried the heavy vessels along rugged paths to the most inaccessible caves hidden in the cliffs. It was an act of faith, a legacy for future generations. They didn't know if they would survive, but they knew their words would. A heroic act of guardianship performed in a last, desperate hope. For nearly 2,000 years, the secret of Qumran remained guarded in the silence of the desert. The jars slept undisturbed until that fateful day in 1947. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls wasn't just an archaeological discovery, it was a revolution. These ancient manuscripts contained biblical and non-biblical texts written in Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. Suddenly, we had access to copies of books like Isaiah, Psalms, and Deuteronomy, dating back a millennium to any other known text. Their state of preservation was extraordinary, and their similarity to modern biblical texts was astonishing. It was tangible proof that the Bible, despite centuries of transcription, had been preserved with incredible fidelity. The Essenes have vanished from history, swallowed up by the sands of time and Roman fury. They are not directly mentioned in the sacred scriptures, yet through their silent work and sacrifice, they built an invaluable bridge across the millennia. They gave us the Bible in a form we can recognize and study today, offering tangible testimony to its antiquity and integrity. Qumran is not just an archaeological site. It is a monument to devotion, perseverance, and the importance of knowledge. It is the place where the desert has preserved a treasure trove of words, allowing the voices of ancient prophets and writers to still resonate powerfully in our day, a bridge between the distant past and the present, an eternal whisper from the silence.
Thanks for following us on Bible Discovery. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to the channel. Until the next discovery.